and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
Yeah, I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I mean, much better than I did last week after the really late CCC game. Not quite as late last night, but we're mostly not going to talk about that quite yet. We're going to talk about a special guest that we are interviewing.
Yeah, no, our guest today is a local kid, 717 area code, grew up in Lebanon and Harrisburg area, and now currently is the starting center back for the Union 2. And that would be, for those of you listening, none other than Neil Pierre.
Yep, so really excited to do this. And without further ado, here is the interview. All right, we are pleased to have a special guest today on our show. He is center back for the Philadelphia Union 2. He's appeared in 2023 MLS Next All-Star Game and 8 total national team appearances between U15 and 16. I'd like to welcome to the show, Neil Pierre.
Neil, how you doing today?
Good. How about you guys?
Doing
Doing good.
great.
Doing good. So it's always good to have a local Academy, now U2 product from the 717 area. We both grew up in York and Lancaster, and we know about
Okay.
you and your brother. So we're real excited to have you. So let's dive into it. Talk about, you grew up in Lebanon and then Harrisburg area. So talk about your childhood. And more importantly, did you have any other interests, or was it always soccer growing up? And if so, kind of what got you into the sport of soccer?
Growing up, I feel like I was kind of more into basketball.
Mm,
It was like my brother and dad were all soccer, and I was kind of growing up basketball, mainly because my sister played basketball when she was in high school.
hmm
And she was, I guess, she was one of the stars. She won 4 states. So I kind of like was like, okay, I want to do basketball. But then I was like, all right, let me give soccer a try since my dad and brother were nagging me about playing soccer. And then I was like, okay, I kind of like this. And then just took it from there.
If you don't mind me asking, which high school did your sister play?
Lebanon Catholic.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good basketball there.
Yeah, my aunt taught there for a little bit too. So that's cool.
Small,
All the local ties.
small world.
Yeah. So no, we definitely are a little familiar with that. So it's awesome. So for people listening, walk us through a typical day at the academy. Like how do you balance soccer with the academics and now with being part of the Union 2? How's that changed your daily schedule compared to training with the academy teams?
So I would probably wake up around 6:30, and I would get to training. And luckily, since our academy, our second team works with the school, so we have our training ends at 10:40ish to have time to shower and everything and get to school. And so with that, it's kind of, I feel like, easy on us. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty much our day. Pretty calm, simple. End school at like 2:30. Yeah.
You know, I definitely find it very interesting. I'm a middle school teacher, and so I always finish in like, okay, how does all this school day work and the training, and if they ever need a family consumer science teacher, yeah, that's what I do. But that's awesome. So, what would you say was the easiest part to adapt to with the academy, and what parts you found the most difficult since joining the MLS Next Pro team, if there are any?
I would say having a kind of like all new coaches and players. I feel like for the most part, like when I was in the academy, I had an older brother, Nelson, so I kind
hmm
of knew all the coaches, I knew all the players, so it was an easier upbringing going to the academy. I feel like, but going in the second team, also it's a professional level, so there's
hmm
more higher standards, faster pace, and it took a couple weeks to get adjusted to, but it's been good so far.
I'm curious because I coached college for 15 years, and when we were on the road, we had tutors and academic people because it was still the balance of like academics, athletics. Is that still kind of the way with the academy, or is it when you're on the road, it's about the soccer? Are you still managing your academics at all?
Yeah, we would either have go on Zooms with our teachers
hmm
for away for a long enough time, or the school schedules how far we're long, like how long ago we are. Like if spring break, since I go to GA Cup, spring break is our GA Cup. So we don't really have school. And then when we come back, it's how it is. So they kind of match it with the academy.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's good to see that you're still balancing your academics and athletics, even though it's a whole nother level. You talked about your father and your brother Nelson a little bit. How has both your parents personally impacted you growing up into soccer, and then also how has your brother inspired you?
I also feel like my family in general is kind of like I can lean on them, especially when I'm going through hard times, have my confidence down or anything like that, kind of lean on them. And then even though it's sometimes hard, especially for my dad, if he's yelling at me if I had a bad game, but it's a part of it. And yeah, I feel like my brother, he's more I guess a little bit quiet, but I can, even though he's very hard on me, very hard on me, I know it's from like a place of love. So yeah.
No, I know how that goes. I'm the oldest I have 3 siblings and we all played sports. So I know, got to be hard on those younger siblings, but it's, just out of a place of love and trying to inspire them. So, no, it's good to have that support system.
It
So,
is. And now, did either of your parents play soccer?
Yeah, my dad,
Yeah. Now, did he play professional or was it more college
just
or?
college.
Okay. All right.
all right. So as a center back, what players out there have influenced you and maybe have molded your game after?
I would probably say the top two are Virgil van Dijk and Rudiger. I would say like
Virgil van Dijk is one of my favorite players, man. Not only just watching him, also playing FIFA, but that's a whole nother side conversation. But no, just he was a prototype coming up, and I love his game and just how he gets after it and attacks. And he was kind of one of those first physical specimens,
yeah.
and I love his game a lot. What areas would you say you still want to develop in your game?
I would probably say building out, especially like I would say being more calm under pressure. Um, and also I guess my reading of like to understand their press quicker. And I feel like those are my two biggest things I can improve on.
And along with your development during the preseason, you spent some time with the first team, obviously. Can you share what was that like? What advice did you get from some of the first team players?
Luckily, most of our first team players are homegrowns, so it was like easier like upbringing. They're more
Right.
helpful and everything. I would say I was kind of like they were kind of like it's a learning experience. Everything here is a learning experience. Even if you mess up, take it as a learning experience. Like of course the older guys are going to get at you sometimes, but it's how it goes. Everyone's gone through it. So keep your head down and keep going.
Yeah, and I find it interesting that you spent time obviously with Coach LeBlanc with Union too, but also now you're spending some time with Coach Curtin as well. Can you describe the similarities and differences of their coaching style, and then in what ways you would say maybe they're different as well?
I would say they're similar in the way how I guess we approach training in the game. Like if you practice hard, practice how you play. I feel like they come into a training session with a good mindset and hold their players to a very high standard. And I feel like I guess the difference is since second team is usually more academy players that are coming through and really young guys, it's more like I guess we stop and talk about like the situation if we mess up or something like that. Rather than first team, it's like these are like pro players. So it's play like if you make a mistake, you're just have to watch it back after. And I feel like yeah, that's more of it.
Yeah, and you got to play in the very first Union preseason game. You made an appearance, in which afterwards, Coach Curtin had some very good comments to say about you. Did you hear those comments from Jim at all?
Yeah, I saw him on social media.
Yeah, and how'd that make you feel? Like there you are coming up through the academy, you hear what Jim says, and it had to be a good boost for you.
It was good, but it was like don't get too high, don't get too low moment.
Right.
Like it was good to hear, but it's just the start. So Gotta keep going.
And that's a great mentality because really, from my standpoint and from us outside looking in, this has been quite, you came into U2 last year. Now you're, making, preseason appearances with the first team and, going now into your second season with the second team. I mean, how are you able to balance that, just taking it in strides or, just taking it day by day kind of approach?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just taking it day by day. Just play football and however it goes,
Excellent.
Nice. So long term, what would you say are your professional goals that you have for yourself? In terms of national team, is it your goal ultimately to represent the USA, or is there another country you want to perhaps represent if you want to as well?
I'll probably say for my goals for U.S. national team is like to go through the age groups and hopefully make my debut, of course, with the national team first team.
Mhm.
And I feel like I could represent Haiti, but I feel like I'm in a really good spot with the U.S. national team.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Excellent. Finally, any fun stories you can share about you and your brother Nelson that maybe the listeners would find, amusing? Maybe your brother would text you, be like, "Hey, why'd you share that story?" No.
I don't even. He's kind of a boring guy, a little bit, just a little bit. He's a little bit sometimes boring. So I don't think we have any stories I can think of.
What are some of your favorite childhood memories with him?
Him breaking the glass and both of us getting yelled at, and then we had to run around our neighborhood. That was probably our favorite memory.
Uh, well, hey, Neil, we really appreciate you coming on and taking some time out of your day. We won't keep you, but before we get going, where can people find you on social media?
They can find me at Neil Pierre _2. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing Union 2 play March 17th. I think we're going to be going to that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I know the Bridge Brigade has some fun things I think planned for the new supporter group. So, it should be a good time.
It'll be a
And we
good
hope to see a
time.
lot of other people come out too for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much again. And yeah, this has been great. We've enjoyed talking.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great.
That was the interview with Neil. What'd you think?
I thought it was great to talk to young man that's from our local area. We're from Lancaster and York, and so it's great to see that talent coming through. We have a strong soccer community in the area.
Mm-hmm.
We've had people, obviously Christian Pulisic, and there's lots of other players come through, and some even from my high school from Hempfield,
Mm-hmm.
Keegan Rosenberry,
Yep.
and you know, we've had a few. Russell Canals, he's from our area. So it's really cool to see the soccer talent come through. And so that was really awesome. And we're really excited to see what things Neil does moving forward, as well as his brother Nelson and all these young guys on Union 2. It's really exciting to see the potential. And if you haven't been to a Union 2 game, you really need to go. And we hope to see people at the March 17th game. We're thinking about going to that
We really,
probably.
really are.
Yeah, and so really fun, and shout out to the Bridge Brigade, the new supporter group for Union 2. So definitely come on out to Union 2, support them. And I mean, these guys, they could be, tomorrow's first team players eventually. Not literally tomorrow, but in the future, just like
But
we've
you
seen.
never know.
You never know.
Not with what the comments Jim said about him earlier
Yeah.
this season. So,
Hmm.
and Jim's mentioned him as recently as 2 or 3 press conferences
Yeah.
ago.
Lots
So
of high praise.
he is. No, it was just really cool to hear about his upbringing, to hear about just like the inner workings of the academy, listening to different coaching styles, that kind of thing. Um, so yeah, again, Neil, we really appreciate you coming on the
Hmm.
show. But before we get out of here, just a couple announcements. Update on St. Baldrick's. As I said previously, we've had some really nice donations, so thank you
Yes.
to everybody that has donated. Next episode, I'll give a update on the actual amount. But again, my goal is to raise $1,000 for this event. So again, we'll leave you the link in the description. If you can donate, please do.
Goes to a great cause, and don't we all want to see Kyle shave his head?
Isn't my head already shaved enough?
You're growing it out just a little bit, right?
Right.
You're growing it out as best as you can.
I know it is. And then one more game this week at the Sub. Seattle comes
Yeah.
to town. Real excited to see this matchup. Two of my more favorite coaches in MLS going at it, and some really good teams. So we'll be hanging out before and after the game. So if you see us, make sure you say hi. And where can people find us on social media?
So you can find us at the One Team We Agree on Facebook and Instagram. On Twitter/X, we are at TOTWAG. And you can find us on YouTube at the One Team We Agree on. And you can find us on our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com, where we post blogs and we post the podcasts. And yeah, so that's been something we've been doing, and definitely check it out if you haven't. And subscribe to us on all your major podcasting platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google, and so on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be writing a couple updates, on some of the games, and thinking about doing another travel blog. Got some great responses to them. I know Union are gonna be in Pachuca and then in Portland. Is
Yeah,
Portland this week?
Portland.
Yeah,
Is this
because
month,
I know it's Portland and Austin. So we'll be probably doing something for that as well. So keep an eye out for that. And that's all the time we have for this episode of the One Team We Agree on.
And make sure to follow and like these if you're enjoying them, and leave us reviews as well on the podcasting platforms, on Apple and everything. We appreciate any of that. And give us feedback. If there's anyone that you would love for us to interview, we can try to make that happen. Or any topics you want us to cover, or you just want to talk merch with me, or whatever. Yeah, we love to hear from you. Leave us comments, and we definitely would love to hear from you.
Yeah, and until next time, I'm Kyle,
I'm Jillian.
and we'll see you at the game.